Oh, well, okay. Hey guys. So yeah, today continues my shitty week. Um, I knocked on wood yesterday that I didn't have a car accident, and today I had a car accident. I just was on the phone for like a fucking hour waiting for my insurance carrier to fucking pick up the phone. So I'm a little like just hot. That's why I'm 15 minutes late. So I want to apologize. I was like, man, look, they're gonna pick up any minute now. Once I hit the hour mark, I was just kind of like, this shit is a wrap. Uh, I'm so tired. I'm so angry. I'm so pissed off. Uh, and the accident was not my fault. You know, a little lady and her husband. You want to hear how this whole thing went down? So I pull into a spot. I go in. I come out. Empty fucking lot. All right. I mean, empty. It's empty. So I hop in my car. I have a ritual. I get in, put the seatbelt on, start the car, left left view, right view, hand on the reverse, hand on the passenger seat, throw it in reverse, look over because no one ever leans over. I'm still one of these people when I'm driving down the road looking to turn on the highway. Oh, you should turn versus, some people don't even turn in their driver's seat. They've got no middle section sort of flexibility. Back to what we're talking about. So I hop in, I look out because the fucking place is empty. I'm by myself. All right. No one's next to me. I think the next car is like 3 spaces over on the passenger side. On the driver's side, the next space is like 15 spaces over. I'm alone in front of the place I wanted to go to. Right. Now I'm going to need some visuals. So as I begin to back out, right, an old couple pulls in with their car and stops right. Like, so when I look out the window, I have a SUV and they had a car. So now not only are they not in my rearview mirror, my rear window rather, me looking out, I check my mirror, they're not there either. I just got in. I know no one's next to me. So it literally was. It literally was about 15 seconds for me. Open the door, hop in the car, seatbelt on, start the car, check the window, look out the back, throw it in reverse, roll half a foot, crunch. What the fuck? They had just rolled in. As soon as I got in, I must have got in, sat down, and they rolled right in and tucked themselves right behind my driver's side bumper. If they had rolled up 6 more feet, I wouldn't have hit them. It's a fender bender, but it's a fucking idea. I'm like in this giant fucking place. You know what it's like? It's like when I lived in New York and there'd be an empty subway train and someone would come and sit right next to you. I would always say something. Man, what the fuck are you sitting next to me for? All this space. I would always say something. I'm surprised I never got my ass beat. To everybody. Old ladies, Chinese people, young hipster fuckheads, stupid fucking asleep Wall Street people. It's an empty train, man. Sit somewhere else. You know what else pisses me off? Like this, when you go into a men's room, there are like 4 urinals. Why are you standing next to me? It gives us all kind of like adversarial vibes. What are you doing? Right? It's imposing. It's always imposing. A giant empty space and you sit right next to me and I don't know you. There's personal space, right? And there's even the idea of personal space when you are in a car, quite frankly, right? If this whole place is full of a love of the land and everybody's parked like only 10 people ahead, everybody can be parked 15 feet away. Why would you park right next to me? You know what I'm saying? It's very, and so they just slid right up in my blind spot and sat there. And then after this whole thing, he pulls into a spot and they were going 4 places he just should have pulled in. He just rolled into the lot and tucked himself behind me in a giant empty lot. And then I spent 50 minutes on hold with my insurance carrier. So I'm just so burnt right now. I had a good, I had a shitty day yesterday. I complained about it on yesterday's show. And then my man, Ted had me on his show, and I had a great time on his show. I was like, you know, maybe our long national nightmare of bullshit is over. Like it started back in November of 2019, right? When they declared a pandemic, and it took 4 months to get here. November, December, January, February, March. It took 5 months to get here before February. 4 months to get here before they shut the whole place down. Maybe this is me finally began to like fucking snap under these conditions. But I know today, normally I'd be like, oh, don't worry about it, miss, because she was like 75. Her husband never got out of the car. Right? But she was like 75. He must have been 80. I told you yesterday, my mom is like 82. My dad is like 85. You know, I got mad love and respect for I call them the elders. Too many comic books. But some people lose their credit when they're assholes or shitheads or racist. Nothing worse than the old ass racist, quite frankly. You're not going to beat my ass. The only thing you can do is call the cops or hang me out here, right? And now it looks like you haven't ever gotten a come up for the life you led. And I used to tell people I'm like, this is fucking Brooklyn. You're lucky you're pulling this shit on me because I was raised right. You know, you catch the cat behind me, you know, who lives in the projects or who just got out of whatever, and they'd be stomping you to death in the street right now. They'd be one of those people on TV going, that dude hit an old person. Why would he? Yeah. So, man, I will curse you out in a heartbeat, and I will keep it moving. But I keep my eye on certain shit. You are not gonna walk up to me. If you and I are having issues and you're 10 feet away from me, you're not gonna if you're rushing me, we're in a fight. But you're not gonna walk up to me and talk shit. Because the first thing I'm gonna do is take a stance. I'm about to knock you clean out. Because we're already angry. You coming into this, me coming in your bubble says a fight. You coming into my bubble says a fight. And I'm not one of those guys rub nipples, right? All these guys are chest talking to each other. What the fuck you doing? What are you doing, man? I got other shit to do than to fuck with you and go to court. Right? And this is part of that. This giant people are just a fucking sleepwalking. It really is making me crazy. And I was I came home, took a nap, missed a call from the insurance people. I wouldn't have had to fucking stay on the line for an hour if I was up like an additional. I was like, I just had to lay down. I got up this morning like 5, I want to say 5:20 or something like that. So yeah, I'm just kind of like, oh, I need a break. So in order to like kind of clear my head, I took my sister donuts at her gig. And then she wasn't there because she was like, you know, it was her lunch hour and she was like outside, kind of like working out, I think, or something. But I got to see her for 5 minutes. The only person, I got to hug her. Only person I've hugged in like 3 years now. Right? I told you yesterday I only hugged my family member. And when I saw her, I immediately took my mask off. She immediately took her mask off. Because these are the only people I want to be around who don't wear masks. So God forbid I got sick. I would, you know, that's fine. I don't want my family to think they got me sick. But I'll risk it around my family. As paranoid as I am, I'll risk it around my family. I'm not risking it around you. Right? And the old lady who, like, her husband was like, I guess he was like, I'll just drop you off here. You could have pulled up another 6 inches and you'd have been in front of like 8 empty spaces. The spaces were pull-ins while I had to back out, right? And he's just standing there like a stoplight. I'm so angry. I'm just tired. It's like no matter how hard you work to get it together, random people come through and fuck your whole shit up. It's like if you're trying to build like a blocks or a deck of card house and somebody just randomly walks by and just knocks that shit over. And you have to start from scratch. And you can't be angry at them. This is what I feel like this fucking country is becoming. I ranted about Obama talking about you need to vote so we can fuck you, Obama. How's that? Biden should lose. He should get COVID. You know, they're not even having a Halloween party. Here's the thing. I get if he was there and he's not there, he's in Europe. So you can't even have a Halloween party for these military, because it's not the random kids from the neighborhood. It's military kids and diplomats kids. You couldn't even have it for them. You're not even there. Fuckery. 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 Out and out clear fuckery. Ugh. So yeah, I'm just spinning. I am spinning. I'm trying to calm myself down, pour myself something, but you guys know how that goes, right? I'll have a sip and then they'll sit here for an hour, which is fine because then I won't drink it. I don't know what's going on, man. I've got this. I don't even know. I think I'm going to start running again. I would rather. I used to laugh at people who died on treadmills. Heart attack on a treadmill. What's wrong with you? Right now, I don't want to. I'd rather die on a treadmill than die on my sofa, die on my couch. But there was some good news. I think I'm reining in my bar chord issue, right? That's not good. Let's try that again. Yeah, see, because my problem was this B string was always that. God damn it. Actually, the low E string was good. Ugh, the low E string was good. Yeah, well. But I was like, oh my God, I think I'm. Oh my God. I might be turning a corner. All right, I'm not even gonna, because now I can't do it because you're watching me. What kind of musician wants to be watched or heard? Excuse me. Oh my God, I'm so. Man, in my old days when I used to do yoga, I used to do yoga twice a day in hot room yoga. I used to run, man. I was fairly fit. I was fairly all right. But even then, my body was right. But I'm in my head too much. This is why I can't date. I'm in my head too much. I'm in my head far too much, right? And now I'm in my head. I'm so angry. Give me a second. Something's going on in my hallway. All right. So what is going on here is apparently the woman next door. You might begin to hear her shortly. She's coming down the stairs and walking out the front door. She's apparently breaking up with her boyfriend or something. You hear her?
Whatever, Bakari. Now I got mad and had an attitude. Okay. Okay, you can put it on in the car. You gotta go get our food. Mama got a lot of food, so we gotta go get it. Let me get these kids in the car. Give me a second.
Yeah, so apparently she was breaking up with somebody at the volume of the average person breaking up with people. That's why I was like, what the fuck is going on in here? Everyone in the breakup is always the victim of the breakup. Isn't that amazing? I've heard a million women tell me why they broke up with somebody. They never told me. I wish I could have done some shit different. Heard a million guys tell me how they broke up with this bitch and fuck that bitch and I don't need. But you keep telling me fuck that bitch and you don't need it. You've been telling me this for like a year and a half. You obviously care. Just stop. You know what I mean? No one is ever at fault. All right. Oh my God. Hey, William, I'm sorry. You're just in time for my rant. And after I get off the phone with you guys, I'm gonna have to call Geico back and be on the phone again for a fucking hour. I need a break. I do. I want. How do I? Anybody know how I can get? What is it? A benefactor. Put me up in a small farmhouse where I can have a couple of sheets and a pig and paint and draw and do these podcasts. Anybody? Anybody? Nobody? Nobody? Anybody? Nobody? I'm sure. I always wondered about that. I mean, what do benefactors get out of that? I always do. I get family friends who do it, like Van Gogh brother who ran a museum sort of took care of him. Obviously, makes sense, right? Um, but I guess, I guess it's also easy if you're super rich. Watch your replay last night. You were having a Michael Douglas falling down day. Was I really? What do you mean by that? One day I'm gonna have to invite you up here. What do you mean by that? Um, Ted, I've known Ted. Me and Ted are friends. We go back. We're more than friends. I mean, we're like brothers. We've known each other. I'm older than him by I want to say 2 3 years, 2 years probably. Uh, but we've known each other since we were like 9 and 10, 9, 10, and 11. I was younger than that. I was like 9, so he must have been like 7. But yeah, so we were before we were 10 years old, and we had a latch where I didn't see him for like several years. You know how it happens, 27 to 28, trying to get your life together, and then you sort of rehook up, and people are married and have kids. Like, what? What's been going on the last 10 years? And you fall right back into like your connection that you always had. And sometimes you think that can't, maybe that'll wear off. It's, they haven't seen each other. They're just happy. But sometimes good energy is good energy. So yeah, that was a little Martin and Lewis. Wow, man, you're killing me here. So Michael Douglas Training Day was about about a guy who was shooting up the joint, and yeah, I'm not. I'm like, I think I'm about a year away from my maybe not a year away. I'm probably we're in November. We're in November. Good lord, we're in October. It's not even. Oh my god, Halloween is like 3 days away. Um, I guess if I was, I'm really beginning to have issues with this whole environment. I guess it would be after Valentine's Day, right? After the holidays, I'm going to snap. Most people like to snap in the holidays, but again, I love my family. I can see my family. Maybe they'll talk me down from snapping, and that's fine. But yeah, he was snapping. Meanwhile, Martin and Lewis, Martin was very, what's the word? Martin was, well, that was their shtick, but Martin was sort of smug and abusive to Lewis, which is why I think after they broke up, they got rich and famous together and broke up. Uh, they didn't hang out anymore. They didn't like each other. And I get it. Being smacked in the face by some dude for 20 years until you can stand on your own in Hollywood can play with your head. And he turned out Martin Lewis, or rather, they both turned out to be quirky. So this is what happened, quirky. Uh yeah, Ted is a straight man. So Dean Martin's son was a pilot. And he was also an actor. He was in this series that got canceled that I used to like called The Misfits, right? With a tall black guy. I think Courtney Cox was in it as well. It was after she got famous for the Dancing in the Dark video with Bruce Springsteen. Why do I know all this shit? Um, but while he was doing that, he was also a reserve Army pilot, Navy pilot, and he crashed his plane into a mountain. And Dean Martin instantly became a recluse. He stopped doing shows. He stopped like instantly, and then he lived like another 20 years, and then he died. Well, actually, not even another 20 years. When did Dean Martin die? His son died in the I want to say the 90s, the 80s and 90s, and then Dean Martin was like, and uh, Jerry Lewis, after not speaking to him for like 50 years, reached out to him because that's how you do. Oh my God, your son, that's horrible. And he died as a military hero, quite frankly. Like, um, but then years later, when Jerry Lewis died, he left all his shit to his third wife and her children. He didn't give anything to his first wife and any of those children, or his second wife or any of those children. Yeah, I mean, people can be spiteful. What's the guy from the You Might Think I'm Crazy? All I want is you. Rico Kasich, right? He was married to this model for like forever. And then when he died, he didn't leave her shit. And she was shocked by it. And I'm sitting here going, you what? What? How do you not know this is coming? The kids were like Dean Martin's kids were not Dean Martin. Jerry Lewis's kids, I think, were shocked by it. Paulina Poliskova, the model who Rico Kasich was married to for 40 years, had kids, but then didn't leave her shit, was super shocked by it. She's still a fucking fox, by the way. But man, I'm telling you, I think, I think not everybody's crazy. What's going on in these houses, people, that you make people hate you or you alienate people, or and what's going on in your head that you would do this to somebody? I never think it's one way, right? You always hear about I'm the victim of everybody, and you're like, nah, but you've been in that Hollywood town for 30 years. What's going on here? What are we talking about today? Um, oh, hey, again, we were right about the shooting, right? On the movie set, because apparently they found like 500 rounds of live ammunition on a gun. I was like, what? Someone is going to jail. And today was the first day that no one had a press conference about it. People just kept releasing statements, right? These fucking kites, see who like run up the flag, see who salutes. Oh, I'm terribly heartbroken. Oh, I can't ever, no one ever says I can't ever make another film again because there's money, they're full of shit. But this was the first time an actual press conference by the cops was like, this is what happened, but there's no DA, just the cops who investigated the scene. All these people are full of shit. Here's a good one. Janet Huber from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thinks Alec Baldwin was set up by the Trump support. Why? Why? Because he hates Donald Trump? A lot of people hate Donald Trump. How many other is he the first of a lot? I mean, it's just people are just so fucking stupid, and they're in government and they get famous, right? And that's the thing. I can make you famous, but I want you smart. I don't want you to know that I'm conning you. This is why everybody signs those fucked up contracts, and then years later you have to fight for the shit you made when you were 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 30 against like a giant wall of corporate lawyers who are like 50, 60, and 7 who've always done it this way, always robbed you blind. I was telling somebody, black people only started owning black music in like the 90s. And the first one I remember, people always talk about their masters now, right? And in the 80s, the first one I remember was Bob Marley getting all his shit back because I don't even know why it was so long ago. But yeah, man, the whole thing is shifty and fucked. And I'll tell you that not only do you sign these fuck contracts, I think there's a lot of blackmail going on with agents in Hollywood, right? Oh, that girl was. Oh, man, don't worry about it. You know, we got you. We're protected. We know. And then 5 years later, you want to leave. Oh, too bad. That thing might get out, and then you're locked into these people, right? How do you sell out? The last one was Taylor Swift. Someone sold out her catalog from under her. That shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But I guess it is. So if this is the way, and it's not, that's why I'd say the American fucking judicial system is a fucking shit show. I said that. I normally rant about it in with the police and some of this unfairness, but it's also on the fucking civilian side where people get lawsuits. Today, the judge, let's look this up. The judge in this shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin, with this 17-year-old who was running around with a AR rifle, killed 2 people and maimed 1. The judge says you can't call anybody shot the victim, but you can call people out there rioters and looters and arsonists. How are you going to call them that? Who do you have that's a rioter, looter, or an arsonist that you arrested that goes with this case? What you do have is a shooter. Can you call him the shooter? The fix is always in. I really think America's going to collapse because I mean I'm a holdout and I'm over here like fuck this country now. What the fuck is going on here? I can be killed by anybody in the street still. By the way, they're still looking to pull a jury for the Ahmaud Arbery case, which is big. But in that whole debacle, what I'm really interested in what happened with the DA who they charged, and what's going to happen with the other DA who sort of was like, right? Because if what you need to do is get in the heads of the establishment. These like, the only people who can cook the books on anything is us feds, not you local and state people, and that'll make it better by like a lot, as opposed to this. Look, this whole idea of states' rights allows people to be rapists and evil in their state. It's my right to fucking if we say, 1 strike and you're out, and this school is just as good as our Ivy League covered uh $300 million high school that we have. The shack that you live in is just as good as that because we say so. States' rights. No, states' rights is bullshit. Fuck you. I've got a whole bunch of fuck yous. I got fuck you. I'm a union guy. And I got fuck yous for unions. Fix the problem instead of getting rich. What is the problems now? Everybody just so blindly union. You should be blindly anything. And how corrupt was the Teamsters under? I mean, there's a window to this shit. So maybe they cleaned up and it's better now, but it can always seep back in. This is why you look. And if America was a good country, you wouldn't need unions. America can't even secure its borders. Too many people taking a run at getting rich through dubious means in this country. And everybody's got a fiefdom. Everybody's protected. Oh, your new scam? What's my cut? Like I said, I just spent 50 minutes on the phone with fucking my insurance carrier. No one picks up the phone anymore. You have to drive me to the internet. Surely someone picks up the phone again. Whatever. Let's see what's going on here. You look like LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow. I actually used to work on Reading Rainbow a gazillion years ago. My man Zook, how you doing, man? Good to see you. I'm sorry I missed your call. Joe Biden said the Northam. Oh, that's pretty good. So yeah, this is Joe Biden being full of shit, right? Joe Biden said Northam should resign. Northam is the governor here in Virginia. Should resign. When those Ku Klux Klan posters came out, pictures of him in college came out. Now he was calling him my good friend, right? Yesterday, because he's in town because they're all full of crap. They are all full of crap. I'm gonna call you later, man. I had a car accident today. I saw your mom today too. I'll talk to you about it. So yeah, I'm just fucking stressed out, and I might be out of medicine. So I don't even know. I'm hoping, man. Here's the thing: it's slowly getting worse. I'm hoping. Here's a question for you guys. What's worse? A long, drawn out, slow, painful, whatever accident, right? Fuckery, whatever this is going on here. Bad luck, right? Let's call it bad luck. What's worse? A long, drawn out, slow streak of bad luck, or just to have a bad thing happen all at once, like in a week or in a day or whatever? What's worse? Because I feel like my bad luck streak has been running now for a while. And I used to not believe in bad luck, but now I got no alternative but to believe in bad luck. I do believe in good luck, right? And I also read something today. It's Halloween. I might as well tell you this. Something like 60% of the country believes in ghosts, right? So if I say, oh man, I saw a ghost, and I got 10 people around and everybody's going, you're an idiot. That's ridiculous. Of that group, 6 in 10 believe in ghosts. I was listening to the radio and people were telling me how ghosts would knock stuff over and they lived in haunted houses. And I was like, I have a ghost story, right? My grandfather, I used to see him all the time as a kid. All the time. Not directly in front of me, but like in the corner of my eye, and I'd look over, he'd disappear. And then it would happen so often, when I would see him there, I would freeze and kind of like try and catch him out the corner of my eye. So maybe it was like kid mind up until I was like, I want to say 12. Yeah, up until before I was a teenager, but when I was in double digits. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know. So I believe in like weird sort of ethereal, spiritual things that I can't explain. I have to. I mean, I've heard people talk a lot of shit about things that they can explain. I heard people make shit up, right? And they made up because years later, here you are. There used to be seances, and people really bought into them in like the 1890s because people had all these parlor tricks, right? Strings tied to their feet that will make the curtain. Right now, you can't get away with any of that. And every now and then, some people can say stuff that you can't explain, right? So I believe that people can be ESP and spiritual. But I think that person isn't like 1 in 100. Like I believe if in the whole country there might be 4 or 5 of those people. I think they exist, but I don't think there's like 4 or 5 in my neighborhood, right? None of this stuff. Yeah, I can read tarot cards for you. I can read your palm and your fortune. That don't mean stuff. But people like Edgar Casey was predicting stuff. And he didn't just predict one thing out of the blue. He predicted a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And also the guy from the 1600s, Nostradamus, he predicted a lot of stuff too. Um, but then people play games because he wrote it in these quatrains weirdly. Atlanta Braves pitcher hit by line drive last night, broken leg. What? You know what? I was telling Ted this yesterday. I missed all the game, all the game, all of it. I did my show. I think my show ended around about 8:30, and then I did Ted's show, and that was about my show might have went a little long. I think my show went to 9. You weren't here yesterday, William. I was lost without you. But my show probably went maybe 9:30, and then I got on with Ted from like about 10:20. I want to say to like 11. So I totally missed the game. Totally missed the game. But it's funny. I said yesterday I usually tune in for baseball games right about like the 4th or 5th inning when I think it gets interesting. Uh, and I sometimes I do the same thing. But I don't care to watch the kickoff unless it's the Super Bowl. But generally, I'll tune in right around like mid second quarter, and that's it. That's the way I've always been. He runs a tight schedule, so yeah, man, it is. See, I love talking to you guys because I was stressed yesterday. After talking to you guys for a little bit, I began to feel better. I still know I have to get on the phone after this and deal with Geico. Found out that my insurance cards in my car was like out of date. I mean, I have insurance, but the ones in my car was like I gotta, yeah. So yeah, I gotta fix my life. I really have to fix my life. Let's talk about some stuff. So the judge in, like we were mentioning it, the judge in this shooting trial in Kenosha. What is the power of a judge? It seems to be ridiculous and unaccountable. And then they make laws so they can't be prosecuted or arrested or any of this shit for the shit they do, even when they're dirty as fuck, right? That's what police qualified immunity is about. Well, I working as a cop, I punched in that day. Well, I thought you were the bad guy. Who knew that it was your 9-year-old? But I'm indemnified from that. I can't be sued personally. And what? What? No, they really need to. They need to fix it. They need to not make it a shit show where everybody can sue every cop for a red light or whatever. You know, it will get fucking stupid. But you can't be completely indemnified from all the evil shit that's going on here. And I said it yesterday. It's a really good way to get people to fucking start shooting at the cops. Fuck you. The courts are criminal. The cops are criminal. I'm not going to jail again or back when I was innocent, do my whole life off track. I heard that story. Guy was like, he was wrongfully arrested. And he didn't do 40 years in jail, right? Wrongfully arrested. He did like 4 years or something and could not ever recover from having been arrested. Tried to clear his name. I'm like, if you, not everybody's doing 30 years in jail, uh, but you make everybody a criminal. You throw everybody into this system. Even the ones who don't get convicted have to pay a lawyer $15,000, 20,000, and you're running a mill essentially. And there you have Joe Biden, Captain Bullshit. I openly disrespect that guy. Yeah, and if anything happens to me and I get arrested, or it's going to be because of that. I will always believe that. I've always been polite in my criticism of politicians, and I really hate it. And it just started with Hillary Clinton. She was just so full of shit. She was just so full of shit. And it became, what did Dave Chappelle say? How much do I have to participate in your self-image? He said that about the trans community. This is where I'm at with the Democratic Party. You people are fucking up. Stop asking me to rah you. This is not what this is about. You should be giving me shit. This is not about me keeping you in power. Barack Obama is a very rich man, and they only go there to get rich. Christie Cinema and Joe Manchin are the fucking problem. The Democratic Party as a whole and how it treated Nina Turner, when I wouldn't have voted for Nina Turner, right? But her constituents wanted her. And then all of a sudden you come in and you start this thing. And I don't think you just change everybody's mind. I think you play these fucking games. I think you can, just my opinion, I think you steal elections in America all the time. I think America has a giant history of manipulating and stealing elections. And for them to go, that's outrageous. America has never had a stolen election. I will tell you to kiss, what's the rap line? Kiss my whole asshole. Uh, yeah, I think it's ridiculous. I think you're telling people, don't believe what you see, just believe me. All right. Well, who you gonna believe? Your lying eyes? That whole thing. It doesn't, man. People are suffering, and it's a pandemic, and it hasn't gotten any better. Now you're gouging people, and you're not coming across. Yeah, a lot of people got shot in the '60s. Remember that. Oh, good lord. Eric Adams leads New York mayor's race by 40 points. De Blasio deserves a B plus as a mayor. No. I will give him a C. What is his standout? The people don't want their subways flooded, and the subways are flooded. What is your fix? Well, maybe okay. Okay, I take that back. That's not really on him. I gotta tilt this up so the camera isn't over my forehead. That's not really on him. That's more on the governor and the state legislature, because the MTA is really run by the state. So the flooding of the New York City subway, I won't blame on him. But ugh, you gentrified the city. You took a lot of character out, and now you're trying to make it look like it's it's LA. Whenever you see LA, there's no character to it, right? It looks like people in fancy cars and fancy clothes walking about being grand. But if you widen back, all those people who don't live in those areas, uh, you got homelessness, you got gangs, you got shootings, right? When you talk about LA, you're only talking about the Hollywood aspect of the giant houses and the pretty people. And he's trying to make New York that. He's trying to make New York City just Manhattan. So yeah, I would give him a C. Wow, somebody has cranked up their music playing by a lot. I should have had him as my teacher. Yeah, he grades very generously apparently, but I think he's also a Democrat, so he can go, oh, what a shit show. But he's also sort of a realist. He can go, oh, all A's, right? Joe Biden would have came through, and like Obama came through and was talking like they did shit. And we got to get back to the days when we can do shit, right? What are you talking about? You didn't do anything. I voted for you twice. I blame Yordle the turtle. Yordle, I blame Ah, I'm gonna have to write his name on a wall. Mitch McConnell. Yertle the turtle, Mitch McConnell. That's what gets me. I blame Mitch McConnell too. There was a lot of standing in the way of progress, but not all of it. Like I said, you only had like two laws. You signed everything corporate America wanted you to sign. You gave the Republicans far too much. You gave the people who voted you nothing. You gave the constituency who pushed you the hardest, black people, zero. What do you have? The Lily Ledbetter thing for gay women getting stuff from their gay partners after they die? And what? And what? I know there's another one, but I forgot what it was. Other than that, you were a poster boy president. You know what I'm saying? You were a poster boy president. You didn't do a lot. And that's a shame. And I get it, but don't come down and cook the books on what the facts are, and that's what's going on here. You know, you still got violent, bullshit, racist cops like you had in the 50s. No one is dealing with it. I don't know, man. The whole situation seems to be a shit show. Nobody's serious. Like this woman breaking up with her boyfriend at the top of her lungs on the phone. I'm not for the drama. I famously won't fight to keep you. If you feel like you need to go, bye. I'm sorry that this shit didn't work out. You ain't gonna fight for me? What? No, bitch. You're a modern woman. Know what you want. I shouldn't have to convince you. Now, if we were married, I would try and convince you to stay. We're building. I don't want you to. But this is dating. And I've seen people call people stalkers who called once too often. Not doing that again. So yeah, what do you want, modern woman? Everybody's a victim in their own relationship. You pick this person. How are you the victim in your own relationship? All right, let's get into some news, people. News, people. I'm so angry. I'm gonna have to call these people back. Um, Hurricane force northeaster smashes northeast, cuts power to more than 500,000. Yeah, the storm is crazy. Um, we got a lot of rain. Then all of a sudden it was cloudy. Then today was fucking beautiful. They're talking about drama tomorrow. Let's put this up and see if we can look up the National Weather Service and see what the national weather map looks like. Don't want to. How about do the Weather Channel? Which, when I heard this a million years ago, I was like, the Weather Channel. What? Who's gonna watch the weather all the time? Not realizing that you don't watch it all the time. You tune in when you need it, and everybody is everybody is needs different things, right? Excuse me. Look at this. Look at this. This is a lot. That's the southeast. Couple rescue kitten caught in flooded creek. Good job, people. Even though Chicago is what about the rest of the kittens? Kitten wasn't by itself. It either got washed away alone. Let's hope, or it's the sole survivor of a litter, which is also dark. Wow. Hold on, let me put this here before I knock this over. Caught on camera, tornado crosses I-10 in Texas. Storm runoff prompts ocean warnings. That's California, San Francisco. Woo. Uh, let's go today. This is my neighborhood. We don't need where I am. This is where we are. It's not bad. It is not bad. One hurt, homes damaged, storms rolled through Texas, LA, Louisiana. Texas continues for the southeast through Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday. And this says overnight is fine. So cool down coming for the south this week. Yeah, this is what we're getting. We're getting wind and rain and snow. All right. What zip code do I don't know any zip code, but I do know how to spell Boston. Ooh, look at this. That is a lot of energy. This looks to be coming off the ocean, which is rare. Our weather comes west to east, not east to west, in the northern part of the country, not east to west. You don't get weather from Scotland into, but you do get weather off the Cape of like Africa, right? Then it swings through, comes hurricane, and hits us like in the dick, right where Florida is, right? And then it runs up the coast. But usually we flow through Bridgeport, Connecticut, Rhode Island. That's the one I always forget. Yarmouth. Uh High humidity, winds 14 miles an hour. Fitty, fitty, fitty. Wow, at least you're consistent. All right, here we go. 53, 54, 60, 65. one thing about leaving the Northeast, I gotta tell you, it does not get any colder than like 40 degrees here, and I really appreciate it. And it doesn't get any hotter than 95, which I can deal with. 90, sometimes 98. But if I had gone 2 states lower, it'd be so different. 7 a.m. 5:54. All right. Yesterday, allergic. What happened to the national weather? Isn't is there a national now? All right, national. Let's see what we get. National City. There's a place called National City. Are you serious? All right. Well, we want to see top stories, right? Maybe some of the top stories. Come on, man. I'm trying to look for like California drought. What happens next? Drone video shows devastating Haitian earthquake damage. Rescuers save 87 ultramarathons in Utah. October 19th. Lord, that was a couple of days ago. Rescuers saved 87 ultra marathoners in Utah. I thought you bitches could run. This is the point of running. Look, listen. Like birds were destined to fly. I get that. Fish are destined to swim. You know, people are destined to run, right? This is what we do. We don't, it's not walking that we do. We run. We're striders as a group. This is why when I meet people who can't even run, I'm just kind of like, oh, wow. So do we even want to read about why they need to be rescued? I guess a storm rolled in. What are the debris flows and why are they dangerous? Well, debris flows are all the shit that's just gonna get caught with the water and run down the well, it's landslides. New retardant could stop Wi-Fi before they start. Oh, really, guys? Don't put chemicals all over the forest and then 10 years tell me that all the shit you spread is cancerous and it kills all the animals. You know, it's I've seen you do this before. One hurt dozens of homes damaged as storm rolls across Texas. One hurt. What does one hurt mean? I mean, well, not did a tree fall and that's gonna kill you. But like, did they get hit in the head by a potted plant? Or did they get hit by a billboard? I mean, one hurt. What does hurt mean? National City. One hurt dozens of homes damaged. Transformer explodes. Cool down coming in the south. Y'all. That's pretty good. Yosemite roars back to life in a big way. You'll scream of our Halloween forecast. Okay, let's hear your Halloween forecast. Yeah, hot here, mild. Yeah, okay. All right, I got you, Weather Channel. Um, let's look up some actual good news. I thought they would have. You know what? I want the Weather Channel did not give me the punch I wanted on the weather. Uh, weather EA weather. Why is it always fucking talking about Virginia? Weather, Virginia, 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 Virginia. The United States weather forecast. Here we go. Maps, Yahoo, 66. Tonight, all right, that's for me. Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Mexico City, Tokyo, Sao Paulo, London, Paris, Venice. You have a better situation over here, Yahoo, than the Weather Channel. This is good to have. Um, is it still raining in Los Angeles? I guess not. Oh, look, 0% chance of rain. That's hysterical. It never rains in California. I couldn't live there. I was actually thinking about moving there because when I wanted to be an actor, like maybe I get some PA work or do something. But I'm a weirdo. I like the weather. Look, I know that you have weather wherever you are, but the weather changes. And if your weather doesn't like, you know what I miss about living here? Snowstorms. Snow in December is a cool fucking thing. Just like the leaves turn here, but the leaves turning is a very awesome thing. If nothing changes. I spent Christmas and New Year's once in South Beach. And Christmas lights and Santa Clauses, uh, it's not quite the same. Christmas lights and palm trees, it's not quite the same. So yeah, I just need the weather to let me know that the seasons are changing. That's just me. Don't get me wrong. Some people hate the weather and they could live in 30 years in a place where it's always 78 degrees and sunny. I don't see how you could do that. I mean, don't the days begin to blur together? When did I last see you? Oh, it rained. When did I last see you? Oh, it was sunny. Wait, stop. Man, stop. It's California. It's always sunny. I mean, uh, I don't know. All right. So, uh, paid family leave benefits likely to be removed from the Democratic bill. These people don't do anything we want them to do. So, yeah, I think people are going to fucking pay a dark price. Anybody know the difference between Brandy Carlisle and Brenda Carlisle? Are they sisters? I guess I should look it up. I do have Google, but I'm kind of curious, but not curious enough to fucking look them up, which is weird. I was just kind of like, Molly Ringwald and 12-year-old daughter Adele enjoy red carpet night out in the pink outfit. Okay. Oops, China stealth ships aren't so stealthy after all. Yeah. Charlie Morton apologizes to Braves teammate after fracturing fibula. You're gonna apologize because you broke your leg? The whooshiness. I am a survivor. Kyle Beach comes forward as John Doe in Chicago Blackhawks sexual scandal. What? There's a sex scandal in hockey? Oh, hold it. And they're raping athletes? Oh, this is not good. I thought the Black Hawk sex scandal was baseball in 1902. Black Hawk sex. Let's look at Black Hawks. Let's look at Black Hawk scandal and see what we get. Modern. All right. Animalism. Black Hawks scandal raises culture questions. Hockey world commends Kyle Beach for coming forward. Sexual assault scandal. Anonymous Black Hawk player. This is news to me. I thought we were going to get like a Chicago Blackhawks. So you have to throw Chicago in there. All right. This is news to me. We're gonna run through this. Do you have a show? Do I have to shovel? I don't have any garden in anything. Oh, here we go. Chicago. For 3 weeks in 2010, they did nothing. That's how long it took for the leadership of the Chicago Blackhawks to act on the allegation that an assistant coach sexually assaulted a player. This is news to me. 3 weeks 3 weeks after that, more than a decade later, rocked the once proud franchise and raised more questions about the culture of sports. In the span of 107 pages, featured interviews with 139 witnesses, more than 100 gigabytes of electronic records and 49 boxes of hard copy records. A report by an outside law firm detailed how senior leaders of the Blackhawks seemingly ignored the sexual assault accusations raised with the franchise days before the team won its first Stanley Cup title since 1961. What? I always knew this. It's always women saying, but look, and in Hollywood, you could be gay and be a producer and da, da, da. Stop acting like all gay people are fine, right? So why would, if the men are uh, putting women in these untenable places, why wouldn't them? If the men are putting women in untenable places, why wouldn't a gay man put? Because it's a sexual thing, right? So why wouldn't a gay man do that to somebody? I think there's going to be a Me Too for guys. I'm telling you. But like I said, Joe Rogan has a really good like a segment on this. He goes, and it's funny to me, but it's not right. You should take all of this seriously. But yeah, he's like, if Harvey Weinstein came to my daughter and said that I'd kick his ass, right? But if Harvey Weinstein came to my son and was like, "You want to be Batman?" It's like, so, but yeah, um, and then you hide yourself under a PR firm of greeting cards and baseball cards and guest appearance on this show, and to just stand you up as this cool guy. Like I told you, only the best people ever die in Hollywood. Every time someone dies, oh, they were light of the world. No one ever goes, oh man, that shouldn't have happened. She was great. I liked her, right? She was cool with me, and which is fair. But no, everybody comes out and tell you how the world has lost an angel and a shining star, and the world is missed. But you worked on all these things with Weinstein, and you never said anything. Maybe you and you were saying about Weinstein when he was running around how great he was. So maybe you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Beach had been referred 20 eyes for blah, 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 Black actually by Kyle Beach. Okay. The ramifications of the independent review commissioned by the team in response to two lawsuits stretch into several corners of the NHL, which fined the Blackhawks $2 million for the organization. Okay, first of all, fining $1 billion enterprise $2 million is like what's the average salary in America, right? Let's say you make 50 grand. Is that the average salary? I think it's 50 grand, right? And you might be a little above that, a little below that. If you're a lot below that, you're below average. And if you're a lot higher than that, you're nicely above average. So let's say it's 50. If you did something and I find you $1,000, right? That's 2% of your income. That's a lot. 50 grand, right? $1,000 is a lot. If you are a billionaire and I fine you $1,000, what is the point of that? I've always thought your fine should be precipitated by your worth. So yeah, I shouldn't be speeding, and I'm an asshole. $230 fines for fucking speeding, knucklehead, because I don't got a problem with paying the $50 fine, right? But if I work at 7-Eleven and I make $12,000 a year, 200 is too little too much, and 50 is a lot, right? If I'm a lawyer and I make $300,000 a year, $250 fine is bullshit. $1,000 fine is bullshit. So for that same speeding fine, maybe you should pay $9,000, right? What? Yeah, bitch. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Because once you get out of this bracket, all these fines only punish everyday common men and women who make the, the average to the minimum versus all these ridiculous judges don't care about fines. They make a ton of money. Once you go into government, you're instantly rich. That's why people go into government. They do and they say what they do for money and influence. And they broke the country. So yeah. Brandy Carla has a sister, Tiffany. There's also Belinda Carla of the Go-Go's. Right, that's the one I thought. Which one did I say? Brenda Carla, Belinda. So are they sisters? They're not sisters. They just have to be named Carlisle with a B, and who play. No, one's a singer who plays the guitar, and one's a singer in a band. All right, I think I was being a little right. The Go-Go's are gone. Thank God, boy. I remember carving that into a desk at Queens College in the student union. Anybody care to go find it? Knock yourselves out. Different spelling. Oh, dude, you are integral to the flow of the show. Okay, so they're not sisters. Come on, man. I should have. You know what? It's funny because I instantly thought about why didn't I realize that? Because I didn't look them up. But and I also never saw their names together, Brenda Carlisle. Blah, 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 blah. So I just never noticed the spelling of the names. But that's on me. Shame on me. Shame on me. All right, let's get back to this. What did he do while you was lying on the? You're an athlete, right? The athlete didn't do anything. You think that if you're an athlete, you're getting rubbed down by somebody, and that guy go, "Ooh, nice penis," and goes honk honk, or grabs you or strokes you. You'd be like, you kick his ass, right? Instead of, but people are different. Some people freeze, don't know what to do, right? But you think, that guy's 6'4", he's fucking this wide, he weighs two 50 and he's full of muscle, and he's 19, he's young, and then he'll kick your ass. But some people are just kind of like, wow, 2 million for the organization. The organization's inadequate internal procedures and insufficient ultimate untimely response. But no one gets fired. People should lose shit. They don't. They just trade money back and forth. So you gave $2 million as a fine to the NHL. Did they give it to his family or him or any of the victims? No. They just threw it in their own pocket. And then they will recirculate it later. The fuckery. I mean, people just keep telling me all this nonsense that I know is bullshit. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking around at all the other people, and it's bullshit. It really is bullshit. Uh Good Lord. Hmm. We have been streaming for an hour, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my stress is stressful. Beach has been referred to as John Doe in his lawsuit against the team and the Blackhawks report. Blackhawks report. The AP does not typically identify people who say they are the victim of sexual assault unless they come forward publicly. But you identify people who are accused of sexual assault immediately, even though they're not convicted of anything. Oh, American media is bullshit. We want to fan the flames, but we want to do it respectfully of the victims. Yeah, what about the wrongfully accused? And I'm thinking about the Central Park joggers, that whole case. We're going to keep her name. And they were children. You stuck their names in the newspaper with their pictures. And then it turned out that they weren't the perpetrators of the crime. And then the only thing you could do was talk about the cops. Man, oh man. All right, let's get it done. Blackhawk CEO Danny Wirtz, 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 the son of team chairman Rocky Wirtz. Oh, okay, nepotism. You know what they say? You can't keep it in your pants. Keep it in the family. Met with the current players Wednesday after the graphic report. The report was graphic, was released. They're trying to keep this in, and I mean, yeah, the news. So they met with the team players. What the fuck you need to talk to the team players? Were they sexual assaulted too? Maybe you need to bring your ass out in front of the fucking town who supports you and explain it to the city that you reside in. The bullshit. I might go back and get a law degree. Have that be my, because it is on my bucket list, and my bucket list is getting old and grungy, right? Not to practice law or anything, but to go and get it. And it's 7 years of school. Well, not 7. I've got some school, so it's like 5 years of school. Let's do that thing, because this is getting fucking ridiculous. He met with the current players on Wednesday, a day after the graphic report released, leading to, so he did it a day after. So they took steps immediately to protect themselves a day after versus 3 weeks and then burying it 10 years ago, leading to the departure of president of hockey operations Stan Bowman and Al Isaac, MacIsaac, Mac Isaac, another top executive, because it probably was reported to them. Well, you got 10 years before you were fired. I think the overriding message was that, look, here's the thing. This is a crime. How are you not how are you covering up? Oh my God. I'm not surprised though. I mean, we've been playing about racism, and you know this happened, but my whole thing has always been, if they do this here, they do it all these other places. And then you just let them get good at subverting justice and knowing how to reinforce themselves against criticism and investigation. And you gave them 200 years to do it. Everybody's going to make money off of this but the victims. The lawyer who represent billable hours, right? The media will put it up there. They'll get hits and clicks and likes and get money from advertisers, right? Everybody's going to make money off of this. I think the overriding message, and here's the thing, Mr. Stan Bowman and Al McIsaacs need to talk to investigators of why they covered up a crime. You shouldn't just get the, oh well, we got 10 years of millions of dollars and trips and part, and I guess I'll just retire and go coach my kids' little league team since I already made $7 million off the play. No, you should be able to be sued for some of this money back. Nobody wants that. Once you get the money is mine. The whole system has been set up by quite frankly criminals, right? And dark people, and then other people that this country influences adopt our practices. I see a lot of fuckery in the English system. The Canadian system looks like this. And a few months ago, they were talking about how they covered up all these indigenous kids being raped and murdered and killed off and then buried on the grounds of a long shut down school, right? No one ever paid a price for those murders. So you bring it to public because then you talk about it. But why don't you do something about it in the here and now? Because fuck those people. We're not serious. Yeah, this is why I think the whole place is going to come apart. Uh, in my lifetime. And by when I say in my lifetime, I don't mean when I'm 90 going, oh, I'm a Ricky, oh man, I can't lead it. I mean, wow. I've been saying 10 years ago in 20 years. And I've adjusted that to an extra 5. So I think it's going to be about 15 years before America is like it's probably sooner than that. America is in some shit. Our allies are full of shit. Our enemies are emboldened. And here at home, we don't even trust each other. And you can't trust your government when they let like goofy shit uh like this happen. Not this, but like, lawyers who and mind the NHL is an American corporation. Where is this? I think this it's there, Chicago. Excuse me. Outrageous. All right, so here's the go. Here's the thing. Oh, let's look at the pictures. It's easy for me to shoot my mouth off here on the internet. Up in this January 21st, 2020, file for the Florida Panthers head coach and former Chicago Blackhawks coach Joe Quenneville. So he's the Florida Panthers head coach and the former Chicago Blackhawks Joe Quenneville responds to questions during his first visit back to Chicago as head coach. Oh, he's back to Chicago as a head coach of other people. Okay, as a head coach of a different team, rather. Game between Blackhawks and the Panthers. Blackhawks are holding a briefing to Tuesday, October 26th, which was yesterday, to discuss findings of an investigation. Blackhawks played to release the finding of the investigation with general manager Sam Bowman, former coach Quenneville, and others who were in the organization at the time agreed to cooperate with. Are you going to? What you're not going to cooperate? Really? You're not going to cooperate with a criminal probe? Well, the president, is this a criminal probe or is this a National Hockey League probe? Either way, if you don't want to be banned from hockey where you make millions of dollars, you got to cooperate with it. Oh, the general manager, so I guess he's the owner or the owner's son, speaks to the media during the Blackhawks are holding a briefing Tuesday, October 26th. The Blackhawks pledge to release finding. It's the same tag as the other one. All right, so the CEO, the owner, I guess, and the son, and his son Rocky. This is why I know I pretty much think he's the owner. Let's look up Danny Works. He's the owner because his son is the chairman, right? If I owned the team and I didn't want to run it and I let you run it, you would definitely not hire your son to be, you know what I mean? The president of operations. Operations is everything. Operations is everything. Uh, let's go, Rocky. William Rockwell, Rocky Works, is the principal owner. There you go, and chairman of the NHL Chicago Blackhawks. Yep, man, you are not getting past me with this bullshit. Oh my God. Spouses: Kathleen Works, divorced 2003. Marilyn Works, married 2003. Here's the thing: the only people who get married are rich people because divorce don't break them. So they'll have 2 and 3 fucking wives. You want to talk about? I normally don't fuck with celebrity shit. Let's put this on the side. I mean, I don't even want to fucking read this. Everybody's an idiot in this. So the Kardashians ruined another dude. Kardashian. Um. So this guy Scott Disick, right? I think this is funny, right? Scott is his name is Disick or something, right? So you got 3 kids together with this guy. Um. I get why but at the same time, only thing they ever seem to do is mangle men. What is she what why I don't what do these Kardashian girls do other than date rich guys and then have babies by them? Is anybody a producer of movies or TV or anything? And like I said before, Kim Kardashian came up with a way for poor girls to make a lot of money while having no talent. And it's not just that sex tape. Calm down, people. They smack their names on shit and you buy it. Not me, but like so. Yeah, Kardashian's a billionaire and she doesn't do anything. That's not me giving her money. That's other people getting money. So we're talking about, and this Scott guy is a weird fuck because he's another rich kid from somebody, and he lived a sheltered life. Now he's, what is the point of marriage in the modern world? And listen to this, people. I guess the question I'm asking is, the average person, I think the media and everybody has trained men to be like, fuck that bitch, I don't care, and just move on. But that's not life, right? You connect to people, and then it's hard to unconnect to people, especially if you have kids together, right? And you're on again, off again. So I think he's being portrayed in the media not like some sick stalker fuckboy, right? But as some sad dude who can't get over it. And the idea is always, I need you to get over it so I can feel better about my deal and go on with my. But that's not the way it works, right? It's always muddy and fucked. Um, and when you collapse, apparently, I don't know if he collapsed like this. Scott's ex-girlfriend just reacted to the rumor he's dating a 20-year-old 2 days ago. He only ever dates young women. Too. But anyway, the whole point here is people, these emotions as men are not a light switch you can cut on and off, right? If you want me to love you, when it all breaks up, I should be able to fucking feel bad about it without being ridiculed in the press, either as some stalker or some other nonsense. Um, and if you're gonna paint these pictures, paint it fairly. Start asking questions about what is the family philosophy of these 5 women. Ugh, they're disgusting. They really are. One day ago. But isn't the whole thing Scott shares adorable new photos of son, right? So yeah, but at the end of the day, he doesn't do shit either. And this is what a breakup is. They're not your family, man, right? Scott feels betrayed. Yeah, well, welcome to the fucking club. There's a lot of people in that town who feels betrayed by the Kardashians, right? And I think the smartest thing Kim Kardashian did was to when she divorced Kanye was like, oh no, I don't want any money, right? We just want good parting terms because I think the a good part of the sphere, even though the media keeps calling Kanye crazy, would have been like this fucker. I ain't saying she a gold digger, right? There's an anthem written about girls like you that you now seem to be the poster girl for. Um, I think a giant lawsuit with her and Kanye, I think would have ended her and her family in a way that people just go money. Here comes the Kardashian money. You know what I'm saying? So since that didn't happen, you still get to flow on your money gathering mission. So her not suing for money from Kanye and brandishing her family as this thing will allow those guys to make another couple of $1 billion over the next coming 10 years, 20 years, right? But I think every now and then, just like what's his name? Just like Alec Baldwin, right? Alec Baldwin in this shooting, right? Now what he has to do is because like we talked about, he's kind of an asshole, right? He's kind of an asshole. Uh his first wife, there's 20 years of him being like a dick, right? If he would have been like, man, this isn't me. This is that girl's fault, and she's 24. People have been like, Alec Baldwin. Some segment would have been like, well, this is a tragedy, and a woman died, and here's Alec Baldwin throwing another woman under the bus. Da, 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 da. Alec Baldwin, while you want, and I said, once you're famous in America, you're famous forever, right? There are people famous in Australia and Britain and Sweden, and we don't know who the fuck they are. Therefore, the world doesn't know who the fuck they are. Then their nation knows who they are. When they come here, they become internationally famous, right? Everywhere. So that guy, the latest new internationally famous person, too bad he doesn't speak English, so it won't last long, is the guy who made the Squid Games thing, right? Everybody wants to talk to him. And before that, the last group was the Korean people who made uh what's that movie that won the Oscar about the Korean family? Somebody went to to babysit his house. Parasite, was that the name of the movie? And then they were all like, ooh, but they didn't speak English, so they couldn't engage with the system. But British people, their dream is to come to America and be famous here. So what is your dream as an American? What is your dream? We would take a pass on you for these other people, right? Liam Neeson, right? Famous here, automatically famous all around the world. Everybody knows who he is, right? Mel Gibson, who oddly enough, even though he got famous on a weird, quirky movie in Australia that like we took to here, the world took to it, right? He was originally born in Queens, I think in Elmhurst, and then he moved to Australia when he was like 5 or something like that. So he's kind of technically an American. Um, it is what it is, man. You're famous in America, the world knows your name, infamous or famous, right? But if you're famous in Britain, one of their favorite comedians, you're famous in what are the English speaking places? You're famous in Australia, right? You gotta reconnect. And sometimes you take a run here, and Americans go, uh. And I think you still get famous because you were here. But like that guy Yahoo Serious, you remember him? He was sort of like Australia's version of Carrot Top, and people were just kind of like, nah, we've got enough weird people. We want your buff, sexy people to talk to us. So yeah, it is what it is. All right. It is 8 o'clock. I want to thank you guys because man, I started this show on a rant because of that car accident. And I said yesterday, sat right here and was like, ooh, it could have been worse. What a shitty day I had. Could have been worse. I could have had a car accident. Then I said, oh, let me knock wood. And I knocked on both of them. And then I had a car accident. So let me erase this. Maybe the problem is I should only knock on one. And I'm a good Christian. Tomorrow had better fucking be better, God. I swear to God. You've been slipping, you piece of shit. Yeah, so don't talk to God that way. I have a special relationship with God. And I also have a Sunday show, 7:30 a.m. on Sundays. Come on through and get your your chakra realigned. Um, yeah, I think a lot of people just take credit for stuff and don't do anything. I'm gonna have to clean off this keyboard. It is covered in dust. Look at this. Oh my God, this is my tech life here. This is not awesome. All right. It's all the ooh, it's all the incense burning and sage burning. We're gonna give that up. We're gonna give that up. We're not burning any more incense. Um, oh good Lord. How to be spiritual without being religious. You know what I mean? Um, I wish you well, but I'm not gonna sit here and go, you know, stop sleeping around. You shouldn't sleep around. You get diseases that way. But stop sleeping around. I'm not going to judge you that way. I'm only going to judge you if you're violent and you're an asshole to people. Don't be violent. Don't be an asshole to people. But if your sexual libido is 10 times more than the average boy or girl, knock yourselves out. If you have willing partners, just don't make a mess of the place. And don't do it in sacred places. Do it in national parks. Take your lover out. Go to the national park. Go hiking. Slide off. That's the way it used to be done. When we lived in the great outdoors, right? Caves and stuff. But actually, probably not, because while you're sitting there doing a little extracurricular, a tiger will come and get you. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I want to show y'all something. See if I can find it. Oh God. I saw this yesterday. I was like, good Lord. Yeah, let's show you this because I mean, the fuck is going on here? First of all, I want to show you. Calm down. I want to show you this. We're gonna bring back here. This is very short. It's only 27 minutes. I'm gonna show it to you twice. First, I'm gonna take me out of here. But what is going on here is this is Bangladesh Delhi. I want you to notice houses, doors, right? You see doors, windows, lights, steps. People live here, right? I want you to notice that. Let me get rid of me. And then I'm gonna play it twice. I'm gonna show it to you. Ready? Here we go. All right. So what happened here is all of a sudden someone heard ran down the street, someone cows ran down the street by people's houses and front doors. The dog is sounding the alarms. You think he's chasing the cows, then he stops. He looks down the alley as something turns the corner. He barks. The pitch of his bark changes from uh it's hard to oh, I better get the fuck out of here. And the thing that you see right here is the lion. Yeah, dogs aren't fucking with lions. And what gets me is I'm pretty sure all these people are in their houses by about 7 at night before the sun sets. Can you imagine living in a place where, well, people in Florida live in places where there are alligators? You hear the dog barking? Notice him now. Notice the pitch. And then here comes this lion down the street, not in any hurry. Your dog is not staying there. Your dog is not winning that fight. The lion is not fucking scared of your dog barking. And the dog bark was really interesting. It was like, woo, 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 woo. It was throwing, and then it goes, woo, right? Like a little higher, woo. And then he sees this thing that he's barking at. Then he gets the fuck out of there because he knows this landscape, right? It's not a kitty. It's way bigger than me, and I've seen it mangle shit. I'm out of here. The last of his barks is more trying to call for humans to come and help him. Let's hear it. It's like, row, row, row. Row, 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 row. Here he is. Biggest fucking day, baby. What are you gonna do with that? All right. I just thought that was the fucking most amazing. I'm sorry, excuse my language. The moment the dog realized that all it has to do is outrun the cows. Lion, what should I eat? A hamburger or a hot dog? No matter how hard your life is, you never give up on life, and that's the last. No matter how hard your life is, never give up on life like that last cow. The dog doesn't have to be the fastest. He just needs to sure he's not the slowest. Me, open the door to see what commotion is all about. Exactly. Open the door. Yeah, lion chills out, guys. I'm just jogging. Yeah. Um, we live in a civilized world. We here in the West do it generally, for the most part. Some people are still struggling with the wild, the natural, and the wild world. Man, we have been streaming for an hour and 25 minutes. I guess we'll wrap it up in the next. Ooh, we got 2 minutes to go, and then I'm gonna have to get back on the phone and call my insurance carrier, and so they can tell me some bullshit. I had to get my window fixed. They gave me a estimate of $350, and it was 420. I was like, your estimate was off by 80 fucking dollars, you piece of shit. What is the point of an estimate? Just tell me what the price is then. Oh my God, I'm so tired of corporate America and they're bullshit. And I can't wait for somebody to come through and save us all from them because they're ruining this country as they allow sexual deviants to become millionaires and then hire lawyers who know all the ins and outs of how not to get the bad guy to pay a price for his crime. I'm going to end up in jail talking like this. I really am. Because the people in charge should not fucking be in charge. And power seats nothing. So you have to take it. Which means in the land of guns, I'm foreseeing fucking shooting some of these fuckers. A lot of them. Not me, but a lot of them. A lot of them. Just like the 60s. A lot of people died in the 60s. It wasn't just Dr. King and President Kennedy and Malcolm X, right? It's a lot of fucking people. It was a lot of people. Uh, Shot the governor of Georgia, Tennessee. Who's the segregation now? Segregation forever. I used to. Why did his name just shoot out of my head? Wallace, right? Shot Wallace. He ended his life in a wheelchair, right? Uh, Blew up Mega Evers, right? Shot, and you may go, well, that was just a black son of Klan. No, 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 no. The Klan didn't kill. Well, some people, racism did kill Kennedy, but that whole thing is exactly what ISIS wants in Afghanistan, and now we're going to justify Afghanistan. If you sit down with Afghanistan, you are a traitor to this whole place, and you fucking suck. Even the fucking, I'm sorry, I'm cursing a lot. Even the Russians are hesitant to acknowledge them because they're, oh my God, we left $1 billion worth of guns in. Oh, good Lord. I don't even get me started. The amount of incompetence just runs. And what they do is they go, they give you something else to be obsessed about. Oh, the blacks or the women or the midgets or people eat dogs, and that's outrageous. Let's march because women in Afghanistan can't vote. What? What? That's up to the. Look, I said this before. This is. Let me put this big. I said this before, and I keep doubling down on it. And people, I don't think I'm wrong, and I think people need to hear it, right? I think people are arrogant, right? I'd say it to black people, like, this whole thing kicked off with some well-meaning white people who are like, "This is wrong. Slavery is wrong," right? And I can't even say we've taken it over. We haven't accomplished anything. But the idea that you hate all white people is fucking ridiculous. Fix your shit. And I'd say the same thing, not the same thing, but something similar to the women's movement. It's like, you are as free as you are because the majority of the men in the country don't want women like the rest of the country want. You can't demonize all the men, right? You can't. Don't tell me I'm gonna do what I want and da 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 da. I'm pretty sure a lot of women say that and get their asses handed to them. Remember, after America's left Afghanistan just a couple of weeks ago, there was a couple of women's protests. Ain't been one since, has there? Not once. Stop demonizing American men. Some of the problem, but not all of us. And you're gonna alienate your allies with this shit, right? I don't want my sisters disrespected. I don't want my nieces disrespected. But at the same time, I don't want any random woman being able to come and pull me out of my life with some wild accusation. Cancel me. You know how men are. Da, da, da. Yeah, those men. What? Wait, and eventually it'll be a tipping point, and you'll see the men or some will just be like, man, fuck these bitches. Whatever that is. And then all that, I demand this, I demand that. And the men will be like, no. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Women have never marched on anything, grabbed guns and took a hill or anything. Don't get me wrong, there are women who can do that, right? In the military, I'm pretty sure you can train some, but the nature of women isn't that. The nature of men is that. The nature of men is all this tactical, confrontational, uh, curious energy to go out and do stuff, right? Um, Women do different things and they do it in different ways. I would make the argue that we would never have left Africa if women ran the place, right? You'd be comfortable there. Why wouldn't you? But men get restless. I think women get restless different. I've never been a lady, but knowing history, why are you climbing that mountain? Women would go, what is he doing? Why is he climbing Kilimanjaro or Fuji, Mount Fuji, Fiji, or K2? Men, just fucking ridiculous, right? That's men. But all this, that same energy is the same. I hear a lot of women talk about women cancer, breast cancer, cancer, but they don't give a fuck about men get cancer too. Are you trying to cure cancer or aren't you? Are you for all the children? Because the only thing I'm hearing is the girls this and the girls that. You will wake up one day and realize, I got a whole lot less support. You will be Hillary Clinton. She really thought she had a lot more support than she had. And the signs were always there. And I think the signs are there. I think all this, you know, divorce and aggression and not seeing kids, men may not go publicly, fuck these bitches, right? But in the middle, like in the back of their minds, they're like, yeah, I'm not trying to do that. That affects me negatively with this whole deal. And I've got enough issues with my ex-wife or my ex-girlfriend or and that's not one or two guys in 100 now. How many? It's not like one or you know what I'm saying? Everybody dates, everybody gets married, but the law is weird and wonky. And then all half the country, which is men, uh, and a good percentage of them will be like, "Man, I'm not for whatever this thing is." And I don't know what that thing is going to be, but I think you're going to eventually see men go, "Yeah, no." And I'm not saying I'm not saying that they like take the vote from, but I think you'll see, wow, what happened to my fucking male allies? What the fuck is going on here? I think people protest and it makes them rich. It makes them famous. Like the three ladies who started Black Lives Matter are rich now. Don't even see them anymore. Started with a hashtag. Hashtag get that money, right? Other people then get absorbed by like the Democratic Party and their Me Too movement is now endorsing politicians. And then you find out that they're burning this woman who was sexually assaulted by the guy that they're shilling for, and then they cut her throat. Ladies, I don't know who's in charge, but you really need to fix it. All right. Stop blaming. All I'm saying is I'm not. And here's the thing: I'm not even telling you not to say this, that, or the other thing. I'm just saying don't alienate your allies. Men are taking a fucking beating. They won't take a beating forever. That's not the way men work, right? Remember how women got the right to vote, right? It wasn't uh, this obvious thing. It was more of a surreptitious deal here in America, right? Women didn't go. I mean, there were suffragettes and they would get their ass kicked. They'd be thrown in jail. They'd be treated badly by the cops. But most of that battle was done with wives to their husbands, girlfriends to their boyfriends, daughters to their fathers, right? And those guys were like, oh, yeah, my wife. Oh. One guy famously, his mother told him to vote for suffrage, and he did it. What is his name? Right? These are your allies. And I tell the black people the same thing. It's not all fucking white people. Know which white people you can trust. Some of these people are your allies. And I don't know how many. I'm not going to say 8 white people in 10, and I'm not going to say 1 white people in 10. I'm not saying any of that. But I'm saying you just can't be so nonsensical and dogma driven. And to me, that's always a sign of fuckery. Um, Tennessee mother Feb, her name was Feb. Feb Burns' letter to son Harry T. Burns, right? A mother letter to her son's choice and the incredible moment women won the vote. It's an amazing story, right? I mean, I've always gone on about my family. I love my family, but a lot of people don't like their mothers. You raise sons who don't like you. That's not anybody's fault but you. In a land of no fathers, you're raising sons who hate women. You better fix your shit. But yeah, this is one of those great stories. A mother's letter to her son. A mother's letter. A son's choice and incredible movement. The moment women won the vote. The suffragette. Am I going to read this? How long is this? It's not that long. Oh, who are these people? Tyler Boyd, the great-great-grandson of Feb Bird, stands with his mother, Sandra Boyd, left, and aunt, Catherine Allen, on the porch of the house burned, the family homestead in Tennessee. Feb wrote the letter to her son, a state lawmaker, that encouraged him to cast a tie-breaking vote that ratified the 19th Amendment. She didn't demand, said Tyler. She just slipped it in. Yeah. Look, first of all, if your mother goes, you better fucking vote for suffrage, and you do it, you're a weak will and silly boy, right? And when it came out, men would be like, what kind of, but this is better. This is a mother giving her son like her opinion, and her son taking it to heart and listening to it, right? Uh, Everybody always wants to sell you this women got shit like they fought it out with men in hand-to-hand combat. It's not Rutledge Estate. Look at the dog. Ooh, that dog is done. Wow, this is a long article. State of Tennessee certifies J.L. Baum. Yeah, 1919, women's right to vote. Feb Burns was assigned registration number 1 in McMinn County in Tennessee when she registered to vote in October 1920. Registered, she was counted as number 1. God bless you, woman. That's how you raise a son, right? You raise him to go out and do great things in the world, but also have an ear for like his mother or his father, right? Everything is in conflict, is all I'm saying. I maintain that the American women who were citizens in good standing had the right to vote before this amendment ever came along. Who cares what you maintain, Elizabeth Herbig? We didn't suddenly get the right in 1920 by having it graciously conceded, granted to us like a pat on the head from some man. Yeah, you did. What are you talking about? The vote from the male legislature only removed the barriers which abridged our rights on the basis of sex. We also had the right, well, fucking, first of all, if there's something saying you can't vote, then you couldn't vote. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. What is she reading? Where is she reading it? And her whole thing implies that women won it by a fight with the men. Who was in the legislature to vote for you so you could get the right to vote? This is the shit I'm talking about. It makes some people just roll your eyes and go, "You're not a fucking serious being." All right, let's see what else she had to say. It was a surprise to me to learn as a small child that there was a struggle for women to vote. I grew up with the proud knowledge of my mother's homestead of Seneca Falls. She's got a lot of up her own ass shit about this. My mom's hometown of Seneca Falls role in getting men to see women as their equals. Oh, so you had to get men to see shit. All right. It's also baffled me that anyone could determine someone else's right based on what they wear between the. Okay, you know what? Fuck you. You're an idiot. Um, these votes from male legislators only remove the barrier, right? Mom's homestead. It baffles me that anyone could determine someone else's right based on what they wear between their legs. What they wear between their legs? First of all, you base it on race and skin tone. Why not gender? It's this thinking that makes me believe that the ERA might be a wasted struggle. This woman is an idiot. How does anyone with a working mind imagine that women should have had? Oh, okay. How does anyone with a working mind imagine that women should have to have all these separately carved out laws made just for them versus for us? This might be a guy. It's just as foolish as limiting as carving out privilege for men only. My rights stem from my legal residence and citizenship as an American, not from whims of someone else. Really, it's stupid. You have racial segregation here. All those people were born in America too. What are you talking about? See, these I used to get the conversations like this with people in bars, and I take it that you've seen me have conversations on these streamers. Hey, Texas No Bunny, how you doing? We're talking about the women's right to vote, and I'm being mansplaining about it. So this woman is wrong, and she's arrogant about her wrongness. The idea, first of all, the whole place was full of men. They had to pass a law for women to vote. And from what I was saying earlier, women never pick up weapons and torches and take a mountain. That's something that men do. So the idea that you were going to get the right to vote without getting men to do it, it's like black people were going to stop slavery without getting whites to concede that it was wrong. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, this lady can probably kill that guy, or that lady can kill this guy, or these black people can kill this white racist. And but at the end of the day, what you need to do is have the law change. And in both of these cases, one was all men who had to go, yeah, this is kind of fucking stupid. Why don't women have the right to vote? And in the other case, it was all white people going, yeah, this is fucking run its course. What are we doing here? We just fought a war and we lost, actually, you know. So yeah, I mean, the idea of this woman whispering this in her son's ear so he could pass a vote makes more sense than telling her daughter to go war with the men. I said it before and I said it again, ladies, you can't alienate your allies. You really can't. I love that they kept the letter. Uh, 2 cent stamp. Her name was Feb, Febe. I'm sorry, Febb. Feb. What a name! I've never heard. Look at the son. Look at how young and dapper he was, a state senator. Of course, you're gonna listen to your mom. You should listen to your mom. Your mother is the first woman uh, in your life, right? She teaches you how to interact with other people, right? Your dad, listen to your father. I mean, especially if they're average, good, and decent parents. I'm assuming, right? Listen to your dad. Your dad is your first male role model, right? All these people. What is she talking about? What were you gonna do? You're gonna run up in Congress and take your right? This is the stupidest of people. I wonder if anybody said anything. She got a like, got 2 likes. How does anyone working with a mind imagine that women should have access to these separately carved out laws made just for them? It's just as foolish as limiting as carving out privileges for men only. Yeah, but they were shit carved out for men only. So what's your point here? My rights stem to my legal residency and citizenship as American. Yeah, again, there were people born here who didn't have any rights because the law said they didn't. So you can sit up here and look down your nose at shit. I mean, I don't know. This is why I say even idiots have internet connections. You got to watch who you're listening to on the internet. Uh, not from the whims of someone else. Yeah, it's always from the whims of someone else. If you make a law that comes out and assures people that my government now says I'm okay, that I cannot be trusted with a ballot or a job or some other responsibility, what does it say about my government's opinion of me? Yeah, exactly. Before that law was passed. Exactly. Exactly. Black people can't vote. Remember, what does the government say about what the government's opinion say about me? Exactly. Exactly. She's only right on this point. But her whole idea of I've always voted is bullshit. Stupid. That I was too stupid or too flighty or just too gosh darn female to be trusted. How humiliating to accept that some other person has the power to grant me a right as though I didn't already have it before. I get everybody grants you a right. Young people are granted the right to vote at 18. They're born here. You can't run for president until you're 35. Let's hear your right to vote when you're 20. I've run for presidential office when you're 20. What is her point here? She's an idiot. Wonderful story in history. Thanks. Good job. Great story. It's actual time and Neota available. I'm going to ask China and we'll get the book. What wonderful story. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for publishing. Except for the Shafley incident, this is truly inspiring story about the Shafley incident. Let's get that going on. Uh, I got to go watch the game, but hold on. This is truly inspiring story about very exceptional family. Yeah. Desmothis of Athens help explain why there are women in the Republican Party even today, why so many of them want less rights than men. Okay, when you say shit like this, give me who you're talking about. I think it's most religious I think it's mostly religious indoctrination based upon patriarchal Bible and teaching. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. One of the reasons other people coming from other places where women didn't do anything, right? Some countries are known to infantilize their women, like the Italians. All right, they call their women mommy, which I always thought was weird. I told the story on the show. When I was in high school, I had a girlfriend who was Latino, Puerto Rican, um, and we goofed around, and she called me Poppy once. Just I was like, oh, the creepiest thing ever. Uh, yeah. So I don't know. It's cultural. Black people don't call their women mommy. We call them women. Woman, what is wrong with you? Woman, you better get out of. You have gone. It's not. And I guess the sweetheart names are honey, baby. Yeah, I get, but not mommy. All right. To each his own. Thank you for the wonderful essay and history lesson. Bravo to Feb Burns and her loving son Harry. And thanks to Tyler Boyd for unearthing his family history. Yeah, her story. I like that. All right. Yeah, I didn't notice the dog until I read your post. I think your diagnosis was correct. Great story. Way to go, Mama Burn. Right. Meanwhile, this woman goes up and goes off on her rant. Get on your Adderall, woman. People are busy. Um, link report. No one can see. Here's your problem. No one can respond to this. She got someone liked it. It's one like this one says two. So one person like that. Everyone else has 333. This one has 5. That one has 1. This one has 9. This one has 7. This one, yeah. So it looks to me like, let's see how many more comments. It looks to me like a lot of people think she didn't take what she said seriously. It's and people and nobody commented on what she said either, right? So some of these apparently you can comment on. I'm just noticing. He commented on this, and he commented on Desmosis of Isis, nuanced. Huh. Okay, so you can cut. No one's copy. No one said anything about her post in a year. Great story. Da 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 da. Little Black Pony. It suddenly struck me that Star Trek character Uhura's first name is Neota, so it seems likely that the name was chosen in honor of the ratification of women's suffrage, and Uhura is Swahili for freedom. Okay, that could be it. So fabulous. His registration number is, I don't even know what that is. Quite a whoops by the clerk. For folks who are not familiar with the title, Mrs. John Jones is still perfectly correct socially and was common for the identification at least in 1960s. As I noticed when clearing out my old newspaper clippings of my dad after my dad passed away. You missed the point. Wow, okay. So yeah, there is some give and take on this thing. Nobody gave her any take because she was ridiculous and she was on a rant. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I gotta go take care of this car accident shit. Sweet Jahibus. I'm exhausted. I'm tired, but I'm feeling better. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel. We're normally playing. Well, we haven't played guitar in a little bit, but we're still learning guitar, right? Da 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 da. Do we wanna try my bar chords again? Da, 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 da. I gotta get better at this. Wow, that was not what was going on before. All right, put your strong finger down, then your 2 weak fingers, and then you bar it. It's funny. When I learned this new technique, I did it for like, I want to say 5 minutes, and they all was like, ooh, right? Well, I'm trying to get these 2 notes to ring out on my bar chords, and they never seem to do that. Because the guy said, don't put your first finger down, put your strong finger down. Oh, good Lord. Ooh. I gotta tell you, laying this finger over here. Oh, now you want to do it. See, even by itself. I gotta get this. This finger is just a fucking killer. That's what I need. Now, okay, all right. I'm not even fucking with you, right? Because you're all the world is conspiring against me, especially today and yesterday. I'm telling you, God, you better fix your shit. I'm one of your believers. I bust my ass for you. You owe me. It's always good to keep God in His place. All right, so here we go. Keep God in His place. All right, here we go. Good Lord. Lawyers who told Trump Pence could block the election says riot was FBI setup. Oh, really? The riot was an FBI setup. Golden Retriever loving reaction to special needs. Look, this is not hard. You got caught up in your own bullshit on January 6th, and now the media is like selling clicks on it, quite frankly. Um, Everybody's talking about Donald Trump as president. Donald Trump will be a different president next time, says Conrad Black. I don't look. I think he's going to run again. I think he's the Democratic nominee. Excuse me. I do not think. He comes through again as he did the last time, because there's a lot of racism attached to Trump. Not because Trump did racist shit, right? Bills and shit like that, but because he put all these people who have racist histories in play. And I think he took their advice, which is why, hey, Letitia James will launch challenge of KG Holtrue for New York governor's race. So now you've got a primary. She's essentially being primary. It's going to be good. We'll see what happens. Letitia James is going to run for governor. New York City vaccine mandate will apply to state girls tennis championships. Yeah, again, mandates. What are you going to do, man? Los Angeles Rams owner Stan Kroenke angers NFL owner with financial pivot related to a lawsuit on St. Louis move. So he wants to leave and go to St. Louis while Europe is disappointed with Biden. Is everybody disappointed with Biden? Democrats say their long battle over spending may be over. You just keep taking, you're not winning. You're taking shit out. You just keep taking shit out that the people want to make Joe Manchin happy. So when you go, oh yeah, we passed it, it's a gutted bill. Like, so if I'm having a wedding and I have the cake and the decorations, I don't know much about weddings. Maybe I should have another example of this. And you go, wedding's too expensive. We got it. All right. Well, maybe then you get rid of the, some extra seats. Some people can't come. Okay, now that's still not good enough. Okay, maybe we'll take some of the bunting down. Still not good. All right, maybe we can't use church because that's too expensive. All right, maybe we'll have it outside. All right, okay, that's still too expensive. All right, maybe you shouldn't wear that white dress. Okay, my dress is too expensive. So now you're just wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt, and he's wearing the same thing. And before you know it, your wedding, your nice giant big wedding for 100 people, let's say, is now a wedding for 5 people. The giant 3-tier wedding cake is gone, and now you have a hostess Twinkies, right? And before you know it, everybody's like, wow, best wedding ever. We put together a wedding for you guys. You should all be very happy. And that's what's happening here. They've completely gutted this thing. And they're going to come around here. It should have been 10. Then they dropped it to 7. Then they dropped it to 5. Then they argued over 2.5. And now it's going to be under 1. And he's going to come out patting himself on the back, talking about how first of all, he wasn't. Yeah. Yeah. I think all the energy is increasingly flowing in Trump's corner. I don't know what to tell you. All right, please like and subscribe. I need you guys to like and subscribe. It's super important to the show. We talk politics here. I tell you about my personal life, which is, what you want to know, right? Single, straight male, no dog, no kids, no plants, no common sense, the usual. All right. Toni Morrison, beloved, could determine the winner of Virginia's gubernatorial race. Really? How? How isn't Toni Morrison dead? Good Lord. Remember when these podcasts used to be like 3 hours long nightly? Yeah, she's dead. She died in 2019. Yeah. All the people that people keep telling me are Black heroes, and I'm sitting here going, What was the thing that was done other than write a book and get rich? How is that a black hero? There's a lot of that. Katie Couric calls Matt Lauer disgusting and abusive during today's show return. Nobody cares what you're saying now. He was running rampant and you worked with him and you didn't say anything. You didn't alert the public then. I don't care what you knew at work. Now I want to know why you kept it quiet. Piece of crap. She's always been sort of bullshit. Megan Thee Stallion celebrates college graduation. Good job. You got your college. I mean, yeah. Went back and got it. So another guy promised his mother he'd go back and get it. He went back and got it. I like that kind of shit. One very big problem with the Democrats' billionaire tax. There won't be a billionaire tax. We need somebody to come through and just start arresting people. And I gotta tell you, I don't know why we're not hearing anything about this Serrano's trial. I mean, I'm getting like, oh, and in the Serrano's trial, blah, 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 every like 3 days, like a 10-minute blurb, not 10 minutes, like a 10-second blurb about it, like every 3 days. Amazing. Three California's teen developed severe psychiatric symptoms after COVID. Here's what scientists say about the cases. Yeah, but it's 3 people and how many doses? A rugby player survived a mid-game heart attack with quick thinking from bystanders. Yeah, hospital hikes prices. A hospital hiked the price of a routine childbirth by calling it an emergency. I heard this today. So what they did was, if you're having a baby and you go to this room and you sit down and they give you an IV, they now change the name of that room to some weird shit, and it used to cost you $50. Now it costs you $3,000 because their business is not health. Their business is business. That makes you cattle. America's going to collapse. It really is. I wonder what the new name of it is going to be. Because I've been saying forever, they didn't change the border and they didn't change the flag, but this is not America anymore. What the fuck is going on here? The only thing that they do keep in sand is the animus, because all this animus is gatekeepers to like wealth, right? Uh, all these trumped up charges, you got to pay lawyers for it, right? So you prime the pump with cash. I don't know. These people suck. All right, so it is 8:40. I am going to go and check out the World Series. I want to thank you. I guess I can't check out the World Series. I got to go on hold again and fucking deal with this shit. I don't want to do it online. I want to talk to somebody. Ah. All right. Someone's talking. Stop barking at me because I'm too loud. So I guess this is where we end it. Please like and subscribe. Truest Armor on YouTube, Karma Armor on Twitch, and here on this streamer, it's True Armor. Come get some. It's good. It's good. And again, I want to thank you. You guys have calmed me down from the fucking day I had. Uh, the more I think about it, I haven't even eaten today. What time is it? Ugh. All right, so let's come up with a meal plan. And get offline. I didn't even have time to check the news today. While melanin makes you groggy, and 3 sleep supplements to try instead of melatonin. Does melatonin make you groggy? Groggy isn't tired. Groggy is you're awake, but you're sort of. I need something to make me sleepy. The Grand Theft Auto 3 radio commercials are still awesome. DNA reveals origins of enigmatic mummies Ugh. Buried in Chinese desert. Buried in the desert. Female elephants are evolving without tusks in Mozambique. Yeah, maybe evolution is a thing, but some things evolve faster than other things. I've been hearing that elephants are evolving, growing up without tusks, because so many are being killed and being murdered off of their tusks. So I don't think anybody said stop growing tusks to the elephants, right? I mean, how does that even happen? You know what I mean? I don't even know, boys and girls. Cop shot a man whose family says he just was pulling up his pants. What is a Salt Lake City cop shot and killed an unarmed man in 2014 after he reached into his waistband, potentially in an attempt to pull up his pants and didn't immediately follow police orders to show his hands. That's what the cops say. Everybody, look, the cops is just running around killing people. How dare you not put cameras on everybody? Because nobody trusts you. Nobody trusts your police departments. And your attitude of, well, fuck you. You gotta trust us is not sufficient. And when the whole shit goes left on everybody, uh, yeah. Caitlyn Jenner defends Dave Chappelle amid Netflix controversy. Christine Nash died in a police van. Her family, yeah, she was stupid. No, they call it death by misadventure. Former advisor says Trump let thousands die of COVID for no reason. Why are you serving in his yeah, he should have fired a lot more of these people. Trump had a lot of people working against him in his administration. And he had another group of people who were just doing what they wanted to do, right? I don't know, man. Some of these people should have been fired. Ugh. All right, so that's it for us. We're gonna Joe Manchin paid leave at risk of falling out of spending package as Biden needs deal with Manchin and Sinema. So he's not dealing with everybody. He's dealing with two people. How do two people get to shut this shit down? I'm telling you, man, the age of assassinations, I really do think is going to be coming on sooner rather than later. No one makes any sense in this country, right? Wall Street can rob you, can rig the people. Your government can insider trade. They won't stop the rapes in offices or the extrajudicial killings in the street. They give all this money to foreign governments and all this technology. And I mean, why are they in charge? Why would you listen to them? Uh, who else we got? It's going to be a general someplace. I'm pretty sure if I'm fuming about it, there's some fucking 3-star someplace also fuming about it. And he's going to be smart enough not to say mean shit on Twitter and lose his whole flow. But come on, that Afghanistan thing was a debacle. All right, boys and girls, it is 8:45. That is it for us. Huh. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 3 minutes. We are here every day, 6:30 p.m. to about, usually it's about 8:30. Sometimes it's 9. Saturday, we stream longer, 6:30 until, right? And Sundays, 7:30 a.m., we stream for the Sunday session where we commune with nature and God and the cosmos, and we get right. All right. Take care of yourself. Hopefully, I will see you tomorrow. Uh, I'm gonna go and handle some what we call life maintenance, and see if I can check out some of the World Series. I want to thank all of you. Where is that? Where is that pen? Here it is. Maybe I'll do some art on my iPad later. I'll that's amazing. But what if I put it upside down? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. All right. That's it for me. I want to thank all of you. It has been a day for me, and you made it better. I'm officially shutting this thing down, And I want to thank you. I will be back tomorrow. And again, like and subscribe. It helps the channel. Please, it would be nice if I could see you again and grow the channel. But we're not for everybody. We're just for the curious people. Not everybody's curious. All right, boys and girls, men and women, forks and spoons, trees and bushes, birds and bees. I will see you in the next one. The next one's tomorrow, 7:30. Wow, peace out. These exits take a little longer than they should.